Okay, all right, it's gone. It's Ken. There he is.
Hello, hello. I am here today with this incredible panel of creatives to discuss the amazing collaboration
I'll be the news so
between
far. We
Guilty
just
Gear
started.
Strive and Cyberpunk Edge Runners. More specifically, Lucy joining Guilty Gear Strive. I am
channel is
here
this on? It's on
with
YouTube.
Guilty Gear
Anime Expo.
Strive's producer, Ken Miyauchi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ken.
Kind of having a jet lag, so I'll just say, only apologize if I, make some mistakes on dropping new information.
I'm also here with CD Projekt Red's
ARCSYS
Japan
also live on
country
Twitch, I
manager,
see.
Satoru Homa.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm Satoru. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Thank you guys so
Amazing
much for being
gameplay.
here.
Chat, there's no projector.
So, as we know, Guilty Gear, especially
Where's the
Strive,
projector?
has exploded over the past several years, I think the past 5 years, to becoming a real household name between Strive,
Oh my God.
Guilty Gear Dual Rulers.
Raz
I just
and
look across this
TV3
crowd,
OH,
I
thanks
see a
so much for the
ton
follow.
of Guilty Gear cosplayers. I think I see an Answer over here.
Answer.
No?
You can't be bringing Answer
No,
up, bro.
that's embarrassing. I'll find someone I know.
Robocat,
okay,
thanks for the follow.
Faust. Yeah, there we go. Thank God.
I also see Happy Chaos and Jacko right there.
Jacko, Happy Chaos.
Seeing Kai over there, very nice. And
Put the
also
information
Asuka
in the
over there.
bag.
I see two abs.
Can I find Lucy somewhere?
Lucy?
Yeah, is there a Lucy? Lucy or David?
Right there.
Ah, right. That's great to have fun. Yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah.
So, with
code.
Guilty
He
Gear
said it,
becoming a
bro.
household name, and with Cyberpunk Edge Runners having exploded when it hit the scene on Netflix, how did you guys start to decide to pursue the idea of adding guest characters to Guilty Gear Strive?
So yeah, I think I
actually
kind of say this at somewhere else, but first time I approached to CD Projekt Red
It's the Kia!
was
That's all we're
thinking
getting,
about
isn't it?
collaboration for The
all we're
Witcher
getting,
3
isn't it?
because one of my lead designer is a big fan of Witcher series, and that's how I got into talk to Homa-san right here, and we did several discussion and
Ariel, thank you for the follow.
it was kind of your idea to propose how about Cyberpunk Edge Runners, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess first of all, I think everyone knows Ken here, but probably a lot of people here don't know me.
Okay.
So let me introduce myself a little bit more. I'm Satoru, Japan country manager at CDPR. I'm also one of the producers of Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and I just want to mention this in advance that we have just announced Edge Runners 2 like a moment ago.
Wow.
Thank you very much. But of course, I cannot
fucking
speak
follow.
anything about Edge Runners
info in the
2.
bag.
So today, just let's celebrate having
got a-
Lucy in Guilty Gear.
I got a weapon here,
Yeah,
bro.
sure.
I'm gonna get
I
him to
got a
slip.
weapon. Put Lucy in the
speaking
goddamn
of,
bag.
The Witcher 3. Actually, Miyauchi-san is right.
Told you
He
he's gonna get you,
initially proposed us to use the Witcher 3 protagonist Geralt as a playable character in Guilty Gear. Of course, it was a great idea, but back then, you guys probably know The Witcher 4 with Shiri being like a new protagonist. So that's we were not so sure about having Geralt as a playable character from that perspective. And at the same time, Geralt actually appeared already in a fighting game, Soul
is true.
Calibur,
He's in Soul
by
Calibur.
Bandai
Yeah.
Namco. And I actually handled that project as well. Crossover project. So I felt like I'm going to be repeating the same process again. At the same time, I'm a producer of Cyberpunk Edge Runners, so that's I kind of proposed because I know the Edge Runners
Geralt does sound a bit
characters
more
are
out
quite
there.
popular, especially in the West. So why
They're
not to
both
collaborate
weird.
with Cyberpunk Edge Runners? And I think you guys are very kind of accepted, right? My counter
Yeah. So we also requested if Siri, but at the time,
Right.
at the time, the Witcher 4 wasn't announced that either, and there was like some certain reason the CD Projekt Red wasn't like.
Yeah, we are not so sure about Siri, So yeah, why not Lucy, Rebecca, stuff like this?
Yeah. So
They
I
said her
also
name,
asked about,
Chad.
well, how about like Cyberpunk 2077, and
They said her
but
name.
then the problem about the game is it doesn't have like a a dedicated character because the
Right.
player V is you, right, as a player. So then the conversation started from there, and then get into the edge runners. How about edge runners? And yeah, that's how like our conversation started.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a perfect collaboration, too. Just you guys saying that Geralt was almost in Guilty Gear Strive, even though that's incredibly
Perfect collaboration,
exciting,
my ass.
I was waiting for you to say that you're joking.
I'm actually, it's a 2-3 actually.
Or Siri,
right,
yeah.
Because that would be awesome, but
I
Cyberpunk
missed? They're
Edge
just talking
Runners
about how
really
the
fits
process
the
came to be.
aesthetic of Guilty Gear. So when I saw that she was coming to the game, I was shocked, but I was like, oh my god, what a perfect genius fit I never would have thought of. You guys answered like 6 of my questions already, just naturally. So once you guys finally came to the decision that, okay, Cyberpunk's the crossover that we're going to do, why Lucy? Why instead of David, Rebecca, Atom Smasher?
Why
Are you
Lucy?
serious about Adam
In that
Smasher?
order. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, we actually had the same discussion.
Ragnar was waiting on
with
the phone
Homo-san.
call.
If we were to
Ragnar just hit
bring
mission, bro.
one character from Edge Runners,
I
it
got
could be
excited for a
either
second.
David, Lucy, or maybe Rebecca. And there was like a long discussion, even like internally, like before we actually go to discuss with Honma-san, like we were thinking who would be a best fit, and who were in
Pretty
the
hard
last Edge Runners panel.
Oh, thank
okay.
you. Thank
so
you very much
you guys
for
heard
staying,
the,
actually, yeah.
the conversations, right? And you are already aware of like the Edge Runners story, right? Yeah. So the David's life is already packaged in Edge Runners, right?
You're doing a great job at tiptoeing around.
Yeah. He's just completed in that series.
I'm so sorry if any of you haven't seen Edge Runners. This is
I was also thinking about like Rebecca would be cool, but
It was also completed.
And also,
Oh,
Rebecca
no,
is kind of like, she's more like gun-oriented character, right? So using guns instead of like melee actions or like, so Rebecca doesn't do quick hacks. So I guess Lucy, since, for example, she has monowire, which is like a whip weapon, and she, of course, does a lot of hacking
said
abilities.
it.
So all in all, I think she was naturally like more interesting,
They said
like
the
versatile
2
character
words
to be
I'm
featured in a
scared
fighting
of.
game, I think.
Yeah, so I did the conversation with battle designers, and doing Lucy would be a very, very interesting collab for Guilty Gear Strive to have her in like a battle, like what kind of battle style she will be in like a fighting game. So that's how we decided, okay, let's take a look into Lucy and see if she's going to fit in the game.
By the way, this is probably the first time we are speaking English, right? So I
We
feel
usually
super weird,
talk
actually.
each other
Yeah.
in Japanese.
Yeah,
so.
but I hope we are doing fine. Yeah.
You guys are doing great, right?
I'm so
Yeah.
scared.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So scared. We have begun production on
So
Lucy.
this is the first time
God.
that Guilty Gear as an IP has ever had a guest character.
That-
Guilty Gear has guest charactered in other series. Baiken was in Samurai Showdown a little bit ago. Do you feel... I got one very sad, quiet woo from the only Samurai Showdown fan in here.
Damn! Why are you dissing Sam Show, bro?
Do you feel that this opens the door for more guest characters? Do you feel that this changes the Guilty Gear IP in any way?
Well, it's kind of hard to say it changed because we still haven't released Lucy yet, as you know.
I see.
I see a lot of like different type of reactions and seeing like how people are excited about Lucy.
Aye,
And
buddy.
So yeah, I don't know if there is a chance
He
and
knows.
if there is opportunity and
He
if
knows,
everything
chat.
turns out great, then there might be another opportunity, or maybe I don't know, asking a character from Edge Runners too.
All right. Well, for sure, we don't have like an immediate, plan to feature another character from Edge Runners, but never say never. So always, please free to propose us, and we can think about it for sure.
All right, thank
Yeah.
you.
He's talking about us, chat.
And
He's
so
talking about
I
us.
want
Our
to get a little
reaction.
insight from the CD Projekt Red side of things.
No.
It's so interesting to me, and I'm kind of adapting this on the fly because I'm still reeling from hearing that Geralt was the first pick. How has the reception been around Lucy as a character since Cyberpunk Edge Runners dropped? And in CD Projekt Red, was it this kind of like, oh, Lucy's the perfect choice for this game, or were you like, oh, maybe this,
The
maybe
Ragnar
that, maybe...
crossover in the room
Well,
of us.
to be honest, I
can
think
cope.
we always think about David because he's obviously a protagonist in Cyberpunk Edge Runners. So that's within our company.
Wow.
There was some discussion
All Lucy
between like Lucy
PNGs.
versus David because both characters are great, and I think David also has a quite good potential to be like a good fighting game character. But all in all, I think
David
Lucy
could've worked.
kind of won the match because I'm pretty sure because of this like game mechanics, right? So she has a lot of hacking abilities.
I'm so
And actually,
scared.
I don't know how much we can say about it, but
Stop
she can actually
saying
do
game
quick hacks,
mechanics.
right? Can I?
Yeah, you just spoiled.
All right. So
Oh, but yeah.
let's say she's a net runner.
Well, she's
Yeah.
net runner.
Yeah.
So
net runner does a lot of things, right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, so gameplay wise, I think
No, she
Lucy
can hack
probably
you.
has like a way bigger potential. to be, like, a
Oh,
good
she
character.
has
Yeah.
quick hack.
Awesome. So this, woo! You guys are choosing your woos at strange times.
Oh no.
So that kind of feeds into the next question. Wow, that really messed with my head. Just the woo, woo, woo. That feeds into the next question. And something I've been kind of wondering about as you talk more about the gameplay side of things, how much... This will be
How
interesting.
does
to
she
phrase.
play?
How much does CD Projekt Red actually influence the gameplay of Lucy? Because you've been talking a lot about oh well, David would be a great fighter and this and that. I assume a lot of people assume that you kind of just sold Arc System Works the character.
Right. So first of all, we are not specialists in fighting games genre for sure. So
God.
and actually, I think this was also the issue with Lucy, but we don't really have so many fighting scenes in the show. I mean, Lucy doesn't really showcase her
It's the same
combat
PNG
abilities
again.
a lot in the show. So I think we needed to be very creative in terms of what kind of moves Lucy should be performing in the game. And since I mentioned we are not a specialist
plays
in
Rage
the
Quit
fighting game genre, so I think we pretty much relied on ARCSYS Works to propose us
More PNG.
monowire abilities or certain netrunner abilities, let's say. So and I think we really didn't have out of place proposal from ARC because they really understood our IP super well. So all the proposal actually were really they all made sense, and we really I don't think we even rejected a single move as far as I remember. Did I reject anything?
Well, there were a few.
Okay, but just a couple of them, right? Not
No, just a couple of them.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's very, very clear that, well, of course, the CDPR, CD Projekt Red is the owner, and they understand Lucy well. So what we did is we also, of course, all of our development members watch the anime and study about the series and even play the Cyberpunk game and trying to think about how Netrunner would fight. And that's how we started. And we did a lot of the, how to say, the image boards, and then showed to Homa-san, this is how we plan she fights. And there were a couple of moves that maybe this isn't how Lucy would do that kind of move, kind of answer feedbacks,
Concrete, thanks so much for the
return, and then we study again and return the new sketches, and that's how we kind of develop. It's almost like developing Lucy together.
Bacon,
Yeah, and
thank you for the
actually,
follow-up.
Miyaguchi-san and his team were always presenting us like sketches and artworks or storyboard, let's say, for moves, and it's really helped us because we can visually see what kind of moves Lucy is going to perform, and if it's like written, text, like move, like, okay, Lucy is going to be, I don't know, throwing away something like that, it's really, for us, it's difficult to imagine what's going to happen, right? But instead, they were always presenting us, giving us like a lot of sketches, visual reference materials, so that it really helped us understand how Lucy will be, developed into a fighting character.
Yeah. Speaking of sketches,
Splash and
there's
Media, thank you guys for the follow.
a sample artwork that I brought.
Yeah, is that
Art?
somewhere?
Oh
Yeah,
my
look
fucking
at that. Isn't
lord!
that cool?
Oh no!
Oh, this is actually the sketches for the character posing ideas. So we made this A2, W, different type of pose, shown to.
Yeah, like 30
What the
versions,
fuck am I
right?
looking
So-
at?
Yeah. And then ask which
this is
which
for
kind of
key
pose
art.
you like. And then
Never
we
mind,
kinda
chat. It's not
nail down
moves.
the
It's not
details
moves.
and
It's
then,
not moves.
do
It's key
another
art.
variations. And
It's key
finalize
art.
the
It's key
character
art.
posing.
It's key art.
Yeah, we did kind of, internal vote within CDPR because they were, we are the video game developers, so that's, we, for
What
example,
the
our
fuck was she
artists
doing
were
here?
really interested in how Lucy will
What
be,
the fuck is this
portrayed
one,
in Guilty
bro?
Gear. So
Some of these
there
are
was like
just
an
throwing
internal
at the
Slack
wall.
channel where we are kind of, reviewing all the materials, and we did
Some of these two are just like,
forum,
yeah, bro.
the one
Hit
on
the JoJo pose.
top right, bottom right was actually chosen as like a final version, right?
Yeah, and you guys talked about how this was kind of like a 50-50 partnership to make sure that Lucy is a great fighting game character.
fuck is
you guys have
E
talked a lot
doing?
about that. Tell me what it was like to make sure that Lucy is not only a great fit for Guilty
Someone's
Gear
gonna
Strive,
redraw,
but that
Jay.
you're still
They
staying
have to.
true to Lucy as a character from Edge Runners.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. I think there were
There's a
like
gun
two
in
major
eye.
aspects in terms of like making sure
Oh
that
god, she does have a
Lucy
gun.
in Guilty Gear stays true to our Lucy in the show. It's like visual and
has a
narrative.
gun.
In terms of like visuals, I think we had like 2D concept artworks created by Trigger artists
Welcome
for the
back,
show. A lot of
Chaos.
Lucy's concept art. So that I think it was more like a straightforward one-to-one approach, translating Trigger's
what if it
concept
is
art
just
into
Elnum?
your version of Lucy. So
What
for
if it
visuals,
is
as far as I
just
remember, I don't think
Elnum?
we really didn't have like any significant issues or like discussions. But narrative is a, as you probably know, narrative is a big focus at CDPR because we are known with narrative-driven RPGs like The
Kazumi,
Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 2077.
Stifia
So we needed to spend a lot of time reviewing dialogues
Thank you
or
guys for the follows.
combat works, stuff like this. We did it in English, in Japanese and Korean. I'm pretty sure it's caused a lot of troubles on our end, managing like text and voice files. But all in all, I think the effort really paid off, and I think we have, from narrative point of view, I think we have Lucy really staying true to our Lucy in the show.
Cool.
Thank you.
What a woo.
And so, Ken, I wanted to ask you, because I'm sure it's not easy at all to introduce a character from a new IP into
I'm
a
stuck in my
series
booth
that has
for
had
Anime X.
its own
No worries,
self-contained story and incredibly
help.
unique style for decades. Were there any challenges in bringing in a guest character, and what did you guys really hone in on to make sure you're like staying true to Guilty Gear?
Well, there are a lot of challenges
Bullshit.
actually. I know who have ever played like other ARCSYS Works fighting games other than Guilty Gear. Okay. So you know that ARCSYS Works makes a lot of different fighting games, right? And
Yeah.
even like the fighting games from different IPs. So you might think that we are kind of like expert on like bringing other IPs into the fighting game form, but the one problem is that Guilty Gear team have never done that before. So
what?
we kind of have to, interestingly, going to ask other development team in our building,
What?
and then hear from them like how are you doing this like IP, different IP workflow, and that's how we kind of like started. And trying to
Sandwich, thank you for the
learn
tier
that
1 sub.
and put into
What?
like how it will fit with the Guilty Gear team's development.
So the GG, right.
development, and
So yeah,
then,
it
like,
isn't Team Red that's
we were
been on Grand
actually
Blue and
very,
Fighters.
how do I say, trying to have like a very loosen up the schedule of like a development, because most of our IPs usually, takes maybe a week to get a feedback after we put some of our work for approval. But then surprising fact is that CD Projekt Red actually responds like in a day or two. So it was actually very quick. And it was challenging for us to start building up, but once after we kind of started, developing, it was actually going very, very smooth.
Nice. Yeah. I'm going a little rogue here because I do want to ask a follow-up question to something you said. So you talked about how you went to other departments and were like, so how do you guys handle doing these collaborative IPs? Can you mention something like specific that you learned from those other departments that made it easier?
Well, realistically, the development scheduling kind of,
Iron Man.
expertise are things that we are kind of learning. Other than that, we were like still fitting into like a Guilty-ish team's format of like,
That is fine.
development. So you might kind of see it's still unique for us to bring like a, not like other like IP characters. Lucy is kind of developed very, very unique because as Homa-san mentioned that she doesn't really have so much action scenes in the actual Edge Runners show. So we have to come up with like, how would she fight?
Say that
Like
again.
other IPs there, for other IPs, they have like a referencing, fighting moves.
I quite like that name.
But like for Lucy, we kind of have to make up a new original move. Like I also brought the image board for that one.
Right, yeah, let's bring up the image board because I did want to ask also, how did Edge Runner's visual style influence your choices in the visual effects and poses?
So yeah, these are showing three moves. I'm not gonna say which moves does what for now.
Oh no!
But you might, if you see the show, you might kind of realize that the one on the top is kind of referencing one of the scene in the anime. But the rest two of the bottom is totally new that she doesn't actually do in the show. So we kind of make this kind of a different image board and then present to CD Projekt, hoping it's gonna get approved. And
this could be her normal throw. This could very, very easily be her normal throw. This could be a long-range command grab,
kind of like a,
or a hit grab.
We did learn like
That's
how to
that's
bring
macabre,
other
bro.
IP into
Like
a fighting
that.
game form, but it's
That's
still doing
macabre.
kind of
Ed
like
pull. It could be Ed pull. It
we-
could be a
we
hit
kind
grab
of-
where she just like pulls you forward.
it's interesting. We kind of treated this character like a Guilty Gear character.
Yeah.
In terms of development.
Yeah, well, and that's so interesting how you talk
Macabre?
about like
Macabre
how
from,
Lucy
Uni
isn't
2. He
necessarily
fucking
like an
flails his arms
action-heavy character in the anime itself.
That goes crazy.
How
Bro. That's what this
he kind of
means.
answered this, but you're kind of answering all of them with each answer you give.
Can I add a few
Yeah,
words?
for sure.
I think since we are talking about especially Lucy using her monowire, I think what was quite interesting was that, like I mentioned, Lucy is a netrunner, right? So basically, if someone is a netrunner, she or he is supposed to be fighting with hacking abilities in Cyberpunk system, right? So at the very beginning, when they proposed us, like, okay, so the fundamental, combat style will be monowire based. Then we were, our team was not 100% sure because again, she's a netrunner, but at the same time, for example, you cannot turn somebody into like a cyber psycho and to claim the victory, right? So burn the brain remotely to end the battle. So it's not possible in the fighting game, obviously. So I think we needed to find like a good balance between melee skills and other abilities. And I think eventually, I mean, in the end, I think Arc did a fantastic job finding a good balance and so that she's not only like a consistent character, but also enjoyable in terms of like gameplay experience. So I'm pretty sure that you guys will be happy with how Lucy is transformed into a fighting game character here.
I am so
Awesome.
sad.
Yeah. And
Am I complimenting him too much?
I'm so scared.
with over the years, Guilty Gear has transformed itself so much from small, typical things like balance patches and UI overhauls to massive additions like the 3v3 mode that was recently added. With the addition of Lucy, can we expect a big update attached to her?
Oh God.
Well, yeah, there is. We are planning a balance patch on that. So I know people are exhausted about it, but we are doing the test play right now. So please stay tuned.
Yeah.
No comment on that.
So there's also gonna be, I don't know how much you can say, so I don't wanna mention it before I get approval by Miyauchi-san, but there's gonna be some edge runners related elements, right, to be added, not just for Lucy, but also,
Oh wow, that's a good question.
Balance patch.
Yeah, so I mean, there was like question about like extra elements. So I don't know how much I can say, but I guess edge runners fan will be happy for sure. Yeah.
Homa-san knows that there is like a really big Edge Runners fun, Cyberpunk fun in our development team. And after I announced that Lucy will be added in the season 4, in internal meeting, one of that big fan came to me with like a gigantic proposal. Maybe we should do this.
I want to do this, right?
Yeah. And I want you to bring in this music. And yeah, so I kind of, talked about it to Homa-san. Could we get this kind of music, and also could we do this kind of things? And it's being all approved, so you'll see with Lucy, or if not, at the Lucy timing next update.
Yeah, so I don't want to spoil, the exact tracks, but I can say
music.
that we have been very cooperative in terms of requests made by ARC, and we are bringing some tracks not only from Edge Runners, but from also from Cyberpunk 2077, the video game. So I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk fans will be quite happy with the updates. I don't know when it's going to happen, but please look forward to it.
We're going to have transfers and
I love how this panel is just you two trying not to spoil things for each other. That's how you know they're excited about the project. So I was wondering, does the inclusion of Lucy affect Guilty Gear's story?
I cannot say anything. So
Well, you know that we have a short arcade mode story. So Lucy will have that, but it's gonna be something special that we are kind of trying to do. It's our first time attempt on the arcade mode doing this kind of thing. I can't tell you the details, but it's 3 times long.
Oh my God!
Wow.
That's why it was really hard for us doing the recordings for Japanese, English, and Korean voices. Yeah.
So like I mentioned, the narrative is actually a quite big focus at CDPR.
Like, what?
So
20,
Lucy cannot just
stages?
Randomly appears in the world of Guilty Gear through a portal or something like that, right? So we have to have like good reasoning why Lucy ends up being in the world of Guilty Gear, and at the same time, she has her own duties in Night City. She of course has to come back to Night City. So our narrative team actually spent some time making sure that the story told in the story mode in Guilty Gear is something that we can, something that does work with the universe, lore in Cyberpunk 2077. So that's probably one of the most difficult, aspects of our collaboration. We did spend a lot of time reviewing like dialogues, changing them even, and yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
25 long story mode, chat. Have
So,
fun.
will there be any Easter eggs found within Guilty Gear Strive referencing Edge Runners the anime, including any locations or characters other than Lucy?
Well, yeah, there are. There are.
Well, Easter eggs are meant to be discovered by the players, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say which ones are, but I'm pretty sure people will find out. And I'm really excited to see people finding it out and taking reactions on it. So, yeah.
Cool.
You are.
What did
yeah,
they say?
so,
The arcade mode.
I'm
It's
pretty
gonna
sure
link
I know what
Lucy
you're talking
to
about in
the
terms of
Strive
those Easter eggs,
story. And they're gonna try and
I
make
think
it
we
make
spent a lot of
sense.
time on
It's also
reviewing
gonna be
those
3
stuff as
times
well,
longer than the
so,
other
yeah,
arcade
they're quite
modes.
exciting stuff, and I was really surprised how
Jesus.
far ARC is pushing to include all those Easter eggs, let's say. They're really great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to do day 1 arcade mode. Like the moment she drops stream arcade mode.
Awesome. Well, it has been a massive pleasure getting to chat with you guys, both on the
Is it
CD Projekt
over?
Red side, on the Arc System Works side. When can we expect to hear more information regarding Lucy in Guilty Gear?
So, there's a big fighting game tournament going on in Las Vegas this year, right? So,
Who here's going to EVO? Yeah?
Lucy at Evo.
So that's gonna be the place where we are planning to drop the trailer. Please stay tuned.
Alright.
My turn now. Okay.
That's it.
Is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about regarding the development?
Ranked.
Lucy as a character?
Ranked.
Well, I want to just say everything, but
Right.
Yeah, I was actually planning to talk a bit more, but I felt how Miyauchi-san is trying to keep everything, contained. So I'm becoming a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of dropped a lot of information actually today. Yeah. Well, and this is actually streamed online, right? So
Hi.
yeah.
Yeah, also the guy who said we won't tell anyone is filming it on his camera right now.
Oh,
the
yeah.
only one with their phone up. Awesome. So, should we pull up the Scan Me thing?
The what?
No, hold on. It's not that crazy, I promise.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
We got some time left, right?
I know we have so much time left, but we've done all of my questions.
Oh,
and
wow. Maybe you want to do like a Q&A?
Yeah,
God.
we're down for that.
I
no.
can't guarantee that I can answer all of it. But
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're going to do a Q&A.
Oh,
we
no.
can't guarantee answers.
Oh,
so if
no.
it's something we can't say, we'll just
Oh, no.
say
Oh,
cannot
no,
answer at this
chat.
time. Does anyone have a question?
God.
All right. Let's do you.
I'm scared. I'm so scared.
So the question is Luz going to be a grappler? I can answer to that question. No, Netrunner is not a grappler.
Oh, she's not a grappler, chat.
Johnny Silverhand.
Well, I have already reacted too much, right?
A Q&A is going to be tough.
Yeah, so I can say you are not going to be disappointed. So
Yeah, I can't answer, but thank you for your question, Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah, that's probably tells a lot, right? Yeah.
Not a grappler, chat.
I'll do...
Maybe
Are
a
you holding a
samurai sword.
Nintendo DS?
Wow.
Chat, did you hear that? Someone in the
Okay, so
Had a
asking about
DS
if
with
Dr.
dust
Prime or
trackers on
other characters to be in the fighting game. I don't know. I can't answer, but anything could be possible.
Okay.
All right.
No way someone
Let's
screamed
get you
When's
right here.
Justice.
Oh, we got a mic coming.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
Chen,
Nice.
thank
Very
you for-
exciting.
Oh my god, a microphone.
All right.
Thank you, anime.
You guys probably can't answer this, but in the story mode, do I get to beat up Adam Smasher as the final boss?
That's a very great idea. I wish I could if I could do that.
Well, actually, I'm not
danger
answering the
zone.
question, but Adam Smasher was actually a valid option to be. We could even counter-propose Adam Smasher instead of Lucy because we want to see Adam Smasher in full action, right? So, what if I seriously propose Adam Smasher? What was your reaction?
I would say that people will love beating him up.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, troll fucking people.
Hello. I got 2 questions.
Oh, no.
So, one, if you guys potentially make another Guilty Gear game, will Lucy be ported to that other Guilty Gear?
That's a good question, and I don't have an answer to it.
My other question, what is the #1 guest character's arc system or anyone in Guilty Gear Strive?
Ragnar the Blood Edge.
Like, what's a guest character you'd love to have in Guilty Gear?
okay,
I think
yeah.
is the question.
Ragnar the Blood Edge.
I can't answer to that question either. But, if we have Lucy, I would love to see David as well. But, yeah, it's...
Ragnar, bro!
Ragnar!
Ready to receive your proposal. So,
Yeah.
Ken,
I
come
have a
on!
question you maybe can't answer. In making a guest character, is there a temptation or a line that you have to walk between making them completely unique or relying on a kind of like archetype that's been in a previous game? Like, I don't know if I could reference other games, but when
Outlaw.
Mortal Kombat brought in the Xenomorph in Mortal Kombat X, they took a lot of Baraka moves. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's also a good question. I mean, this is just naturally how we do
GG5
battle
you have a
designs.
GG tag?
I mean, our
Please.
battle designers are aware of all other fighting games. They play every different series of fighting games, and they also know they are also from different type of fighting game communities. So when they come up with the moves and ideas, we always have some kind of reference. Yeah, but there is a point that we also want to do
When did they say they would show Lucy? Evo.
Original.
Evo,
So
they've
kind of
announced that there will
balancing
be the
out and
trailer.
making sure
So-
it
Clive
turns out to be
Rossfield.
the playable fighting game characters.
God, that's terrible, Clive.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
During the development of Lucy, did Studio Trigger have any influence besides making the anime? And moving forward, are you looking for any other IPs you want to collaborate with?
I think I can answer that question. The short answer is no, Trigger was not involved because CD Projekt is actually free handling the IP of Cyberpunk Edge Runners. For example, if there was if ARC made a request, to ask Trigger to, make a promotional artwork, of course we can, convince them to, be a part of it. But
Convince them.
this time I think we are not really having Trigger involved. But at the same time, I'm really sharing all the materials with Trigger because I want to make sure that, they are on the same page with what's happening with Edge Runners. And they just said, if it's video game related, they trust us, handling it. So, that's the answer, yeah.
Very interesting.
And
that
your
there's no
other
Trigger.
question is
They don't
having
announce all the
other IP.
Yeah, moving forward, making more guest characters.
Yeah. Well, I don't have answer to that question.
Okay,
Come on,
thank you.
Ken.
Hi. So, kind of following up on the previous question, sort of double question. Was Studio Trigger in any way involved beyond the basics of it being a character from a show that they helped create? Were they involved in the development of this character in this collaboration? And kind of aside from that, in regards to the other characters that were mentioned as consideration, Adam Smasher? Really?
So, like I mentioned, they didn't directly get involved in the production of Lucy in Guilty Gear, but at the same time, for example, there was a lot of reference materials prepared by Trigger for the show, concept art of Lucy, for example, her facial patterns or poses and stuff like this. And they were really, I believe, they were really helpful for the developers at Guilty Gear, because we had like color informations and a lot of pose differences. So indirectly, Trigger's materials especially were quite helpful for the production. But the collaboration itself is purely handled by CDPR and ARCSYS works here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just like on the other one, why Atom Smasher?
Well,
that was a genuine question.
I mean,
I'm really curious to know.
I would say if you ask me like who is the most favorite character in Edge Runners, I would answer Atom Smasher. So it's like my personal preference. Yeah.
Oh damn! Okay.
It's purely my personal preference. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're wondering why a lot of fighting game companies are doing the thing for season
I have a
passes,
question.
Steam requires them.
I have a question that maybe a lot of people wanted to ask when Lucy got announced. Did you think about Ragna?
Yes! That's my goal in the audience.
I also say this in some like medias, but I used to be a BlazBlue player, so I like, and I also main Ragnar the Blood Edge.
Hey, come on! For more reason.
Up until Chrono Phantasma, and then I switched to S. So I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
But one thing everyone was wondering is that why there hasn't been a Guilty Gear and BlazBlue collaboration yet, with them being ARCSYS 2 flagship fighting games.
Well, I can't answer to that question. I wish I can.
All right, thank you.
That's my
I have
goal
a
in the
question
audience.
I think you can answer.
Okay.
That's my goal in the audience, bro.
What really struck me about Lucy being the first guest character in Guilty Gear and why I thought it really fit is because Lucy isn't necessarily a character from a video game. She's a character from an anime,
that, bro.
which I feel like we never really see
Dog
as
shit
guest
opinion
characters in
detecting.
fighting games.
You don't
so moving
understand what
forward,
this means to me, my guy.
do you think you would prefer to look more into video game guest characters, or do you think this has opened the possibility of, oh, maybe we should look at anime characters? I was thinking Guts.
Boo!
Not bad, right?
Well, this is my theory. I mean, actually, was my theory. I was actually looking for a guest character, as you just mentioned, from like a video game. Yeah, and then funny story. Through the conversation goes along, it turns into
the anime character,
anime
right?
character.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, it could be a possibility.
Good, fair enough. That's it.
Hi, everybody. My question is more so towards CD Projekt Red. So you mentioned earlier in the panel that you had to make a proposal and you discussed a lot about what character you wanted to pitch. I wanted to ask, when you first found out that ARCSYS was going to come discuss that, and obviously the discussion of having a cyberpunk character in Guilty Gear, were there members of the CD Projekt Red team who immediately started to just brainstorm ideas at random? And were there any specific ideas of like, oh, what if David did this? Or what if we had Rebecca doing this? Were there any concepts of these characters becoming fighting game characters and what they might
shot
do?
in a dark.
Yeah, I mean,
literally
in CDPR, we have
out
like
in the middle of nowhere.
fighting
If
games
someone
maniacs.
in this
So
line
they were super
can
fans
hear
of
me,
fighting
ask
games.
about
And,
ranked.
for example, our global communication director,
Ask
he's a
about
big fan
ranked.
of even Guilty Gear. So yes, there were. I mean, when I initially shared this information about Lucy being a playable character in Guilty Gear, there were some ideas. For example, if she should be using quick hacks, maybe she should be using this kind of quick hacks. Because, for example, we have a lot of quick hacks in video game, but she doesn't.
I mean, it's a Lucy
so
panel.
many
I
in the
know,
show.
but someone
so maybe
brought
we can
Ragnar.
bring some from the video game. So that's it's gonna be it's gonna look cool if Lucy does this quick hack in this collaboration because she never does in the show. So there were indeed a lot of feedback from our internal team, and I think I shared them with Miyauchi-san. And right now, I can say that the reception in CDPR is super positive about this collaboration. So every time when I receive something from Miyauchi-san, I'm gonna immediately share it on our
Shot in the
company Slack
dark.
channel, and
Shot in the
everyone
fucking
thumbs up
dark.
and puts hearts on it.
You
So
never know.
I can say we have done dozens of collaborations
Quick
with
hack
other
burst,
IPs
oh
in the recent years, but I
burst
can
is
confidently say that this is probably the most well received one. So thank you, Miyawis-san, for making this great character in Guilty Gear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I can't believe we didn't ask this earlier, or I didn't, rather, but what makes
in the latest time possible.
Arc System Works
I used to dream for
such
days
a
like this,
good
bro.
fit to bring Lucy into their fighting game?
Well, on my end, I think it's 2D animation, look of the game. I think it's very features Lucy. Because if we were gonna go for like more photorealistic character, let's say
The
for example,
patch is
B
gonna
from
save it,
Cyberpunk
bro.
2077
It's
or
gonna
even
save
Geralt
it,
from
I'm
The Witcher
telling
3, I
you.
think it could have been like more
They're gonna gut
challenging
pot. They're gonna
process
gut all the
to,
big bodies. Sin's gonna be
feature
left in the
our
fucking
characters
dirt.
from our
He's gonna be
IPs,
looking like Yamcha,
because turning
bro.
photorealistic character into anime
Believed
format
in
itself
that in
is like a big
2023,
challenge,
the game
right?
is
So,
well
fortunately,
there's nothing wrong with
Lucy was an
believing.
anime character, and
I choose to be
Guilty
a
Gear
fool.
also has kind of anime format, so I think it was the biggest reason why
They're gonna take both of Ram's swords
aesthetics
away,
were
bro.
really
It's gonna be fine.
like matched together between these two IPs.
Well, yeah, we are also like kind of we are kind of like a creative. I know CDPR is also a creative driven company, and we are also like a very creative driven. That our lead artist was like actually very very how to say passionate about like maybe turning like 3D
Give me
photoreal
Marvel
character
Poker.
into like a Guilty
I'm
Gear
telling you,
Strive
bro,
aesthetic
Marvel's
look,
not gonna
but,
be any better.
good thing
Marvel's
about
gonna come out, it's
Lucy
gonna be a
is
shit show, but
it's
I'm ready
clear
for it.
on like how we should go. I mean, the goal is clear, but at the same time, we also were able to make Lucy a Guilty Gear fit looking. So I'm hoping people will like the trailer that we are going to show.
Gonna
at
hit you with
Evo.
a fucking subway slammer and it guard crushes you. What did he say? I was too laughing at Hulk.
So I wanted to ask, in general, for Arc System Works, what do you usually tend to look for when hiring or scouting talent to work with you? Additionally, when you were working on this project, did you end up doing a lot of work externally, or was most of it done internally within the Arc System Works
Anything
team?
big happened so far?
We do both. Like we do
wish.
have like an external
There's
team
a
working
lot and
together
not a lot
with
that's
Guilty
happened.
Gear
It's a very
Strive.
strange panel. It's a very, very strange
but mostly
panel.
it's done internally.
Balance patch was
And,
announced. We
your-
saw a couple
first,
of Lucy's
What was your first
moves.
question?
A couple things got
I'm going to be
leaked.
completely shameless. I was just asking what you tend to look for when hiring or
okay.
scouting talent.
Well, someone who is very, very
Trailer, you are.
creative, I think that's like the best thing. I mean, because our creative designers are very unique.
What got
and,
leaked? They talked about hacking a lot.
There's some point that I
And it was like,
can't
you weren't
really
supposed to talk
explain
about that, but
logically.
okay.
So that's some kind of feeling that you can't explain logically would be something that's makes us, feel talented.
Yeah, understandable.
He might have a gun.
Nice. We got an Axel coming up.
Wait,
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh god, the
that's
bridge.
classic Axel.
So, with Unica, who just dropped as an original character,
Yep.
is there any
sound like
more
Axel.
motivation to broaden the roster with more original characters?
Yeah, we do have that kind of motivation, but I can't, confirm anything.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Bro's
but,
not allowed
yeah,
to
we
talk
do have
about
like
anything.
ideas. Actually, there's like one character that's been like made original but never show up. So maybe finding an opportunity, but yeah, not sure yet.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. New character next season, perhaps?
Hello. So my question is, what are your reactions to the fan reactions to Lucy? Coming to Anime Expo, you filled this hall. You have cosplayers. What are your guys' initial reactions to everybody kind of going crazy for this awesome collaboration?
Yeah, I
What is your
remember.
reaction, Ken?
I think Lucy's collaboration was first announced in one of the Evo's events, right? Previously, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the reaction video. I think Arc kindly sent us like the reaction video, right? And it was very. I have never participated in those fighting games events, so I'm not really
It's a new
super aware of
character.
like
They said
how
one's been developed, but they haven't
enthusiastic
been able to show it yet.
the communities are. But I was very, very positively surprised that Lucy was well received among the communities. So, over the time, I have been reviewing all the materials. I can pretty I'm pretty sure that the expectation will not be like betrayed because again Lucy is very well executed in this collaboration. So I'm pretty sure people will be happy with it, and I'm quite happy with how fighting communities is accepting Lucy. Yeah.
Twitter's molding over everything. You can't judge a community's reaction just by Twitter.com.
And for me, I was very worried about like how people will react to it. But it just like remembers me that the fighting game communities are just fantastic, and I think this is the only community that I know that gives us a very straightforward reactions to what we reveal. So as soon as I see everyone's reaction to our reveal, all of our development teams are motivated to put the hard work onto the character development. So I would like to say thank you everyone for giving us a very straightforward reaction.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
He is kind of right. We say it how it is.
Hello.
Hello.
Of all the existing DLC characters, which one, in your opinion, was the most fun to develop?
Ooh, okay. Fun to develop. I actually asked the same question to our battle designers, and their reactions varies because they would say it really depends on what kind of aspect of fun, So recent character Unica, they say it was fun to develop this character too because she's an original character. Also,
Manifest rank someone in the line.
Dizzy, kind of making her a lot of moves in the past to like stripe designs, and also Venom doing like a lot of his billiard aesthetic fit into the stripe design. Every character have fun part to develop, and that also applies to Lucy. She has really fun mechanics, so I'm really excited for that.
I'm glad you brought up Dizzy, Venom, and Unica because I was wondering if when launching a season pass,
David, you will ask about ranked mode.
Are there considerations as to like, okay, Lucy's gonna play this way, we probably shouldn't drop her in this pack with X, Y, and Z character.
Yeah, so I also mentioned this in somewhere else too, but when we think about like season pass, we try to kind of balance out the battle style of each character, not making all the characters too technical or too unique, making like the level 1 ease of use kind of thing. We try not to do that. So
gonna fall from the ceiling with
that's like when we make the announcement, we already have in mind like how the character she'll be play, or at least would play like.
Right. Awesome. Thank you.
She can't be boring. They said she was fun. Bye, Bridget.
I have like two kind of questions. First is I like to believe that music is a big part of Guilty Gear Strive franchise, or just Guilty Gear in general. And you guys said that you guys were coming back and forth with some kind of music between CD and Strive, but you also already have a trailer coming out for the character in some months from now. So I would like to know, on top of the music you may be getting from CD, do you guys have anything already pre-made with Daisuke, Aisha, or Naoki? Or
for Lucy?
Yes.
Well, the thing is, I can't answer to that question.
I thought so, yeah. That told me everything.
Yeah, but we kind of think about it. But, you find out.
That. And one more question. So the most recent ARC system tournament, you guys didn't have a concert like you guys had the time before last, but you're having another one for this next
Q&A.
Expo. I was wondering, is concerts going to become more of a frequent thing? Especially seeing Naoki coming out and sing for us and whatnot.
Please.
Because
bring back the concert.
I was slightly disappointed they didn't come last time. But
bring back the concert, bro. The concert was fun.
Was this new for them, time for last, or is this a new plan coming forward? More concerts, more music, more showing out?
Well, the realistic story about doing a concert and in the U.S. is a little bit of hard. There's like a different kind of things that we need to clear up. For example, like Visa, So it's hard, but I really look forward to doing another one. But I can't. Yeah.
It's complicated. All right.
It's complicated. Yeah.
Well, then thank you anyways.
Honestly, that's a fair answer.
Hi, I actually have 2 questions as well.
Nice jacket, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So for the first one, you guys were talking about how you don't really want to add like other characters from Edge Runners. So could we at least get like some skins like Potemkin as Adam Smasher so we can actually beat him up?
That would be a cool skin.
Not so specifically Potemkin as Adam Smasher, but that's a good idea, and we actually do have a plan. Yeah, we do have a plan, but maybe not at the Lucy racing timing.
Well, you also said that in the arcade story mode it's gonna tie in, and you're not really gonna say. But could we at least expect an actual good and happy ending?
Instead of sad?
Well, I think, like I mentioned, Lucy has to find a way to go back to Night City, right? So I would say, it's a very good question, actually.
It probably isn't skins, chat.
You will find out for sure, but it's not like we are not gonna let Lucy
it won't
die
be skins. It'll be like
for sure. So that's I can assure you.
We are not killing Lucy.
Yeah, she has to come back to Night City because she has things to do in Night City. So I can
probably
say that.
alt colors.
Thank you very much.
Hello, I have one question. What was the general thought process for buffing characters like Potemkin?
We know the thought process.
The better designers are making those kind of like plan on designings, and I can't explain all the details how our design process goes, but yeah, it's based on like those kind of document and having like different kind of meetings and discussion. Like that's how we apply, and yeah, that's how we make decisions. Yep.
Yeah, we talked about it. Fucking troll ass question.
Hello. This is mainly towards CD Projekt Red, but I'm a fan of the Cyberpunk Red.
Someone went up and was like, "What's the decision behind buffing Pop?"
And I was wondering if there's a possibility that we could see a reversed collaboration where Guilty Gear could maybe come to the TTRPG in like a DLC or something, like something along those lines.
Okay. Well, TRPGs are created by ARCSYS, so it's not like purely CDPR product. So it's gonna be like a 3 parties collaboration, right? So I guess it's gonna be pretty tricky. But whenever our writers think about stories on those crossover contents, they always try to kind of sync with other existing
Solid
materials,
Edge Runners
TRPG.
2, let's go!
I can't really say if there's like a direct links between the TRPG materials and stories in Guilty Gear, but principally at CDPR we always try to somehow associate all those stories together. So if you're gonna be looking very, very carefully, you might be able to find some references of what's happening in a certain TRPG element in the Guilty Gear dialogues. I can't really say anything in details, but please look forward to it in some form. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, so I've got 2 questions. First off, is there any consideration at this time for any like non-fighting game Guilty Gear entries similar to Overture?
Banger.
Oh yeah.
Banger.
I just like to do that, at some point, but yeah. Not really, clearly projected yet, but yeah, that's something that I'm really motivated to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So please look forward to it.
Second question. It seems like the season passes for Guilty Gear Strive seem to have been getting smaller as the game goes on. Is there any specific reason for this? Maybe for like more consideration towards DLC characters or more dev time?
They've stayed full since season 1.
Sorry.
They've stayed full since season 1.
Right.
Season 1 was just bigger because it had Goldlewis and he was supposed to be in base game.
Hi. I have two questions. My first one is the worlds of Cyberpunk and Guilty Gear are like polar opposites. In Guilty Gear, all the technology went away, and in Cyberpunk, it's called Cyberpunk. So I was just wondering, was there any consideration to like how to merge those two worlds with Lucy coming into it, and any insight on that?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, and that's exactly why our narrative team is quite, involved in reviewing all the stuff related to like story modes or dialogues, because we want to make sure that Lucy doesn't casually appear in the world of Guilty Gear, right? There has to be some reason why she's here, and there has to be some reason why, for example, she can perform certain abilities on people without cyberwares, let's say. So there will be some reasoning to it. And
okay.
I don't know how, if you like it or not, but we are very paying a lot of attention to make sure that it's, the crossover does make sense from a narrative point of view as well. So we do have some consideration there. Yeah.
Yeah, our narrative team also worked very hard on it, and bringing Lucy into Guilty Gear universe, we did make it narratively explained. So I'm hoping you will see that kind of things.
I'm still expecting the answer to my
Yeah, The Witcher is easy, right? You can just open a portal and Geralt appears somewhere, right? But it doesn't happen in Night City, so we paid a lot of attention to it.
Awesome. And my second question is kind of a broad one, but I was just wondering, what to you makes a great fighting game character?
Ooh.
What makes you a great?
What makes a great fighting game character?
Okay. That's a good question, and really varies on the people developing the game. I mean the character. So.
Can you tell the stream volume? Yeah.
My answer to that is, well, the character that that is fun to play for people who are enjoying. So that's, I think, is one of the key aspects that makes the fighting game character.
That is a hard question.
Yeah, I think.
I feel like
that question is very hard to answer.
Sorry about that.
I think that's a great answer. A great fighting game character is one that's fun to play.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's still not.
Wow, I did not expect to get here this fast. I just want to say hi, Danny. I love your videos.
Hello. Questions for them, please.
Okay, I have two questions. Who's older, Sin or Unica? And two, what is Unica's weapon? Is it AC/DC? Is it Devil's Dozen? Is it as a certain weapon case for a sword that I will not mention? I must know.
That's a good question. I know people are questioning about it, and I also read that kind of a lot of reactions on SNS. And there's a reason that we really didn't answer those. I can say that Unica is older than Sin.
Okay.
Yes!
I mean, I thought she said that in the
She does.
dialogue.
She does technically say in the story mode that she is old.
I can't answer to the secrets about her weapon, where it comes from and what it is, but yeah, we do have like a background settings to it that we just didn't reveal.
All right, thank you.
We're getting more lore on Unica eventually.
Hi. I just had one question as somebody who's loved fighting games for years and might want to get into making one of my own. How do you guys start designing a character? Do you guys sit around a table and have a conference about it, talk about the ideas, or do you start with the sketches or character designs? How does exactly?
Sure, but when?
Do you guys
Eventually.
go about that?
5 more years.
Are you specific about Lucy or just character designing in
Just in general.
In general, okay. So how we do it is there are different type of approaches because for Guilty Gear, since it's a long series, if we have a past comeback character, then we do have a reference. So we kind of have to think about how the character is going to be played in the Guilty Gear Strive system, and what if we just like bring the character as is from the past, like what happens. Those kind of discussion goes on along with we have the designers who work on character animations and motions. So for example, let me bring in the example about Dizzy. When she comes to be playable, what we have to think about is Dizzy actually is just not one character. She also have Necro and Undine on her back. That means we have to make 3 different character models, right? So that kind of trying to scope out how long the development stage will need to take and what's the costs are going to be like, and that's how we kind of start when we actually move on to character development.
Okay, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Good question. Good question.
I got a question you probably can't answer, and I got a question you probably can answer. First question you probably can't answer. What's the probability that we will see, obviously not with the next patch, in the future, new special moves for your existing characters?
Well, in the next patch, we do have one new special move for one character.
Ooh. One.
I'll just answer to that question because I understand we've been letting you guys wait for quite a long time, and we are working on it. But it's just we are doing a lot of like scrap and build, but you'll see one move.
One.
I can confirm that.
Yay!
Woo! One.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that to be answered. Okay.
One.
My second question is. If y'all know Chikawa, who's your favorite character from Chikawa?
What is Chikawa?
This is very important. Be very careful with how you answer.
Chikawa. Okay. I mean, well, I was not expecting to hear the term Chikawa, so I was kind of confused.
I have a Chikawa shirt. I love
right.
Chikawa.
Okay.
Chikawa's my favorite.
Right. To be honest, I'm a newbie in terms of Chikawa.
Okay,
so,
then I'll answer then. I like Hachiwara.
Yeah. I love Hachiwara. He's a very good friend, and you are a very good friend. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Oh yeah.
The best question ever, right?
On to eat. Life is a fuck. There's no way that was on it.
So, my question would be for both sides of the studio.
Not Virgil.
If you were hypothetically, and this is seen since most of you have already mentioned you don't really want to bring in any more cyberpunk characters, if you were to bring David in, would he be more of a rush down, beat 'em up kind of like Soul, or would he be more of a technical character, kind of like Asuka with his use of his Sandevistan?
That's a good question, and I thought about it. It will be more of like a rushdown character, I think, because his main mechanic is Sandevistan.
Yeah.
And that's how we will imagine. I mean, that's how I imagine, but maybe Battle Designer will come up with a different plan that makes me surprised.
But I'm pretty sure he can wear the cyber skeleton with, one of his super moves. So, yeah, I mean, he can be pretty brutal, right? When it comes to like a super
and risk of being like a cyber psychosis.
Yeah. I mean, so the player get beaten by being a cyber psychosis, right?
That would be a funny mechanic. The more you use Sandosis,
working with your guys' kind of studio, if they were
the
to
crazier you
like
go.
this?
That would be cool.
Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
How would someone get into working with your both of your guys' studios if someone were to get into working in this field?
So, like being a video game, right? Video game dev or
video game dev, part of the game team, things like that.
Well, for sure, at CDPR we have some, open positions for sure, so you can apply for it. Yeah, I mean, for example,
hell yeah, dude.
at CDPR we were not initially doing anything related to anime because Ejidanos was like the first, anime project for us. So we were looking for somebody with anime background, but actually all the people right now working in our company and doing anime, including Ejidanos too, they don't have like any anime background, so they were, for example, working in previously in a different video game company.
Hey
and,
Chad, if you are thinking of working in the game
now
industry,
doing anime, so I don't really think it's
please be careful where you apply.
Doesn't really mean. I mean, of course, if you are working in a video game industry, I guess it's going to be easier for to get a space to get a job in another video game company. But like I mentioned, even if you don't have like any background about anime, you can still be a producer for genres. So I guess there are a lot of opportunities, to be working with us.
Yeah, very similar to Satoru's answer, but yeah, I really think it's depending on how you're passionate about, because I actually also come from like, non-video game industry field and then, became the Guilty Gear producer. So it's really depending on how you're passionate about the video games and like how you study them by yourself.
All right, well, thank you for your answers.
Cool.
I'm going to ask a quick question, real quick, just because I thought of it, and I feel like people may be curious. I don't know if you can answer this. Was there ever a point where you considered making Johnny Silverhand the guest character?
I had that idea, proposed it.
But first of all, we have to record the Keanu voice, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna cost us a fortune for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure our company is gonna disapprove if they look at the invoice,
Right. Yeah. And also, the likeness of Johnny Silverhand needs to be approved by Keanu as well. So it's gonna be pretty very tricky project for sure. Yeah. But of course, it's gonna be super interesting to see.
You heard it here first, chat. If they didn't have Johnny Silverhand played by Keanu
My
Reeves,
question
got him.
is a bit of a thinly veiled beg for Axel merch, because I've been playing him since ACR. But I was wondering how you decide the official merch, because we've had like 7 or something Bridget merches.
Keep the Bridgets coming.
And we get the
Keep
Ram
them what?
cloak, but then there's
Excuse
not
me.
any
Leave the
official
Bridgets
merch for
alone.
Axel, and we just barely got a Faust plush and stuff like that. So I was wondering how you decide. Is it based on popularity?
Keep
or
them
the most,
what?
Like merch that makes the most sense to make?
It's more about like the assets and like how. Of course, the character popularity matters, but most of the time, it's not always like, our internal ideas. It sometimes comes from like the vendors' ideas, and you'll have a chance, so don't worry.
I'm begging you to make the Axel Bomber jacket. I need it so badly.
Okay, that would go kind of hard.
Thank you.
Axel Bomber Jacket would go hard.
On that note, I need official Faust collaboration scripts for my workplace. My question's more for like the CDPR side of things. So like, on what likelihood do we get like a Guilty Gear Ghost Drive radio station or an L-Felt gun in CDP or in 2077?
That's a good
That's a good one.
I didn't really think about it, so it's like a very good proposal. So, so do you have? I mean, so using the music in Guilty Gear, right? Kind of.
Yeah, like a
I really
drive
didn't
station.
think about
or
it.
like
At least I can share the information within the company and think about it. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be license-wise pretty complex, right?
Well, I'm sorry. Like I should have proposed that.
Right.
I mean, they're both pretty rock heavy. I don't know how it didn't come up.
It's a good question when both of the speakers are like, yeah, maybe we should do that.
All right, so I have like 4 questions, with the 4th one being pretty small.
Let's get 2 if you can.
The first one is story or gameplay wise. Will ever see Dragonstall Sin? Because we got one for Soul, we had Necrostall Dizzy, we had Kai Dragonstall, and God forbid I mentioned Dragonstall 2nd from Action Core. Secondly, do you think or ever thought of that we may or may not have a collab with Type Moon? If not Type Moon, then just Type Lumina or Grand Blue Fantasy? Or I know you asked for 2, but
as you ignore it.
Yep. Third one.
The icing would
do
be
you
sick.
think we'll ever get anything else about the Sacred Treasures? Because we only got like 4 or 5. We got one in Vast Edge, and yeah. And 4th one, because why not? What is your favorite Dragonstall design for Soul? We've seen throughout the many years of Guilty Gear being Guilty Gear.
Wow, that's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I know.
I tried to stop
so
him.
many questions.
Okay, so the first question was, let me rephrase it. I mean, it's asking about the...
Fuck this guy. Yo, fuck this guy.
Is that the question?
No, it was if Sin will ever have a Dragonstall.
Oh, Sin. Okay. If there is an idea of doing it, then there would. But It really depends on what Daisuke is gonna think about. Yeah, we always
It's all
get
according
like,
to
Daisuke's
Daisuke's vision.
approval on like character actions. So, yeah.
It's all about Daisuke's
And second
vision.
question I can't answer. Sorry. And third question was what was it? The
third one was if we'll ever get anything about the other sacred treasures we've seen throughout Guilty Gear.
Oh, Secret Treasure. Well, I can't answer. And fourth one, my favorite is the Exile Dragon Install.
Nice.
It's the best one. It's the best one. I'm sorry.
All right,
Exile Dragon
that's
Install is the best
about
one.
all the time that we have. I'm so sorry. I know we just got a Kai up here. That's all the time that we have. I'm not allowed to accept any other questions, but thank you both so
No,
much.
bro,
We're gonna
hogged
get
up
the
the last
trailer this
question.
upcoming Evo in a couple of weeks.
Oh my god.
Woo! Is
Fuck
there
that guy.
any last thing you guys would like to say to
Ranked!
the audience?
Which one do?
Well, I'm gonna. So I'm really astonished by Guilty Gear communities because it was like I don't know. Did we answer like 40, 50 people's questions, right? I wasn't really expecting to have like a such long-term, Q&A session. And I can clearly see, Guilty Gear communities really care about your game. So I'm really happy to have Lucy, a part of our IP being present in your game because, if you guys, I believe some of you must have watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners, but if
We're
not,
getting no
if
trailer,
you
bro.
like
I'm
Lucy,
sorry.
please go watch it on Netflix or buy Blu-rays. And, I'm really happy to have such a great communities having, some interest in our games or anime. So, again, thank you for giving us an opportunity to collaborate with Guilty Gear. So thank you very much, Miyauchi-san. Thank you, the communities.
Well, I'm saying this again, but really, like the community support and your reactions are really our driving engine for development. So it's nice to see you guys again in Anime Expo, and I'll see you again at Evo. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye, Ken.
Everybody, let's give a huge thank you to Ken Miyauchi, the producer of Guilty Gear Strive. And then a huge thank you to Satoru Homa, the Japanese country manager of CD Projekt Red. Thank you guys so much. This has been awesome. Just myself as a fan of both IPs. I'm sure everybody else here has also loved this. I can't wait for Evo.
And thank you for being the great guest, great host, yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Honestly, chat. Listen. I think that's
Everybody enjoy the expo.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
I don't think that was a nothing burger. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It might just be like the ex wannabe game developer in my brain. But like that was pretty good. I got more than I thought we were gonna get, and we actually got a semi-decent amount of info. So we got this screenshot, which I don't actually think shows too much. This, I'm 99% sure this is her regular throw. Like, it doesn't really seem like anything too crazy. This could maybe be like a hit grab sort of thing. And this is, again, it's Macabre. Apparently, people don't know what Macabre is, bro. Like someone said earlier, open up the schools. So we got a little bit of information on this, which was really nice. We saw the process behind her splash art, which also could have given away more. So like with this, A, B, C, D, I, all of these have a gun. Like all of these ones have a gun specifically in the splash art. So that could also help us understand a little bit more what's going on. They technically leaked, which they didn't really want to, but they talked about hacks and basically they talked about hacks, which it sounded like they didn't want to talk about, but we know that they're gonna have some kind of hacking mechanic. Yeah, like something like exactly, dude. plus R Baikon's Baku's, where she shuts down one of your buttons. It could be something like that. It could be something that interacts with your meter. It could be something that interacts with your burst. It could be something like that. I think, like, for something that had no in-game model, no gameplay, anything like that, we still learn a pretty decent amount about what she is going to play like. But if I'm going to be 100% honest, it was just nice hearing from the developer. As weird as it sounds. Like, we learned that there's going to be a battle patch alongside Lucy. Thank fuck. But it's just like, I don't know, it was nice. It does sound like Ken... A lot of these questions are like, Ken's like, I can't talk about that, I can't answer that. Which kind of feels like maybe he's held in some sort of grip by ARCSYS. But just having them communicate, having them say things to us, having them mention BlazBlue and Ragnar the Blood Edge, having us get like a tiny glimpse behind the scene of like, actually it's not Team Red working on Grand Blue or DNF or Dragon Ball or anything like that. It's nice, you know. It's cool. It was interesting, which, especially compared to everything else we've gotten from ARCSYS, I'll take it. We got Lucy news. We got news on the next patch a little bit. We got news that there is going to be a new move. They're still working on them. We got communication back and forth. Like, I'll take it. And just the fact that, like, they let questions happen, even if they couldn't answer most of them. If we look at this in a vacuum and we don't look at everything that's happened around Arc System Works, with, like, them showing the key art way too early, and them showing, like, nothing at the Arc Showcase, and them barely communicating, and them not telling us when major things are happening. This, in a vacuum, I think it was good. Do I think it was, like, good enough to make up everything that's gone on previously? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, but... Lola got released those sketches. That wasn't like a verbal confirmation, yeah. The sketches were like the main things that they showed. So if you want to be really cynical about it, sure. But like, I enjoyed this. As a fan of Arc System Works, as a fan of Guilty Gear, I did enjoy this. I really did enjoy this. The sketches are cool looking. It gives me hope. We also got a release time window. Knowing for a fact she's going to be at EVO, big thumbs up. Big thumbs up. Knowing we're going to balance patch, big thumbs up. Knowing we're only getting one move in the thing, not good that we're getting one move, but big thumbs up that we know what we're getting. Like, communication. Communication. Good. Good. I cannot express how nice it is knowing. Being in the loop. I will take it.
I love you, Giovanna! Woo!
Last puns, thank you for the follow. Love me some comms? Exactly. Just letting us know. It's annoying. But I do want, if somehow someone at ARCSYS sees this, because apparently they're connected to the community, they listen to what's going around. That's what they said. If someone at ARCSYS sees this, if they hear this, keep talking to us. Please, please. Keep letting us know. Just keep saying things. Because it was nice seeing all this behind stuff. You don't have to tell us everything that's going on. But giving us like, hey, we're doing a balance patch. It's coming out around this time. We're showing this here. Like, I heard there was a patch and ran over here. We don't know anything that's in the patch, but we don't need to know. We don't need to know. I'm going to say ranked on 31st of August, still within schedule, and Lucy on 21st September, still summer. We'll see. So what should we expect going forward? Genuinely, chat, for the rest of the month, I won't expect anything. For the rest of July, I would not expect a word out of Arc System Works. Until EVO comes out, I wouldn't expect them to say anything. Rank this Monday, rank tonight. Also, from what they said, speculation, we might be getting Season 5. Speculation. Speculation. Like, it is, you know, big asterisk speculation. We might be getting Season 5, which I am down for. Because they talked about other guest characters, and they talked about a bunch of crazy shit. Yeah, chat. Run around Twitter, Lucy tomorrow. Yeah, they mentioned an original character that they're working on, and it's really weird for them to work on an original character and then not add any more. So, most signs point to Season 5. Most signs point to at least one more season. We'll see, though. You never know with these kind of things. Maybe the original character comes out on their own. I'm going to have to rewatch, especially the Q&A bit. I'm going to have to rewatch a lot of that tomorrow. Because there is a lot. There was a lot without being a lot, if that makes sense. Season 5 was pretty likely. I felt like Season 5 was like a 50-50. Especially after Marvel Token was announced. But from everything they're saying, I think I think we are getting one. I don't know. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with what we got.